Hi guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. Today we're going to quickly look at the video by Freestylebender, aka Israel Adesanya. I'm talking about how the Israel versus Dricus feud started and what started it all off. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. This is Israel's video on how his feud with Dricus Gaslighter Duplessis started. Let's take a look.
Obviously, this time last year, 3 African champions. That has obviously changed. Is it a little does it bum you out? There's not as much gold potentially going back the next time they go, or do you see this as an opportunity? Now you do get to be the guy if and when they show up to Africa.
Well, I mean, did those belts ever go to Africa? As far as I know, it came to America and New Zealand. I'm going to take a belt to Africa.
Okay, so he's downplaying Kamaru and Israel's African roots with that first sentence right there.
Africa. I'm the African fighter in the UFC.
I'm the African fighter in the UFC. When you say stuff like that, you're trying to say that Israel, Kamaru, and Ngannou on African. That's what he's saying. When you raise yourself up like that, you're putting the other African fighters down, and that's what Izzy's pissed off about.
Myself and Cameron.
Okay, and you've got to look at the optics. They are 2 white fighters, and he's comparing himself to 3 black fighters. Like, this is why it looks bad.
We breathe the African air. We wake
I don't want to go all Succession, but look at the optics.
up in Africa every day.
Yeah, but why does that matter? How does that make Israel, Kamaru, and Ngannou less African just because sometimes they're not in Africa? And isn't Ngannou living in Cameroon? He's living there. Didn't he go back home to Africa with the belt, Francis?
Train in Africa, we're African born, we're African raised.
We're African born, we're African raised. Kamaru and Israel, weren't raised there. They're not like us, basically.
We still reside in Africa.
We still live there. They don't. We are more African than they are. That's the translation.
Train out of Africa. That's an African.
We train out of Africa. They train out of New Zealand. They train out of America.
Champion, and that's who I'll be.
I'm gonna take him to school, in the octagon and on history.
That's how this started. Dricus started it. He started this nationality pissing contest, putting doubt on their nationality and downplaying and pissing on their nationality. He started it. Dricus started this bullshit war. He's the one that was questioning fighters' nationalities. That's what got the African fighters pissed in the first place.
Because what he's doing is creating divide. You can't, knowing your history, I've never questioned him as an African. Because, you will.
And Izzy's right. If you look through any of Izzy's videos, he has never, ever talked about Dricus's ethnicity, nationality, race, creed, culture. He has never tried to downplay his African nationality. He has never said that Dricus is less African or that he's not an African because of race or because of where he trains or whatever. Dricus started this, guys.
Born in Africa, South Africa, of course you're an African. I've never questioned that as a.
He's never questioned that. Dricus put their names in the hat and questioned their nationality publicly.
Product of colonization. You're trying to tell me who the fuck I am. You can take the boy out of Africa, but you can never take the Africa out of the boy. I never ever did that to him. I never discredited him as an African. I just, okay, there you are, cool. That pissed me off. And that's why he's my next fight. because I don't want to fight anyone else.
You can't tell me that this wasn't Dracus and his team's master plan, and his coach was talking shit on Instagram too. Like, this was their goal, to kind of question his nationality, twist the knife a little bit, gaslight, okay, and then go, you know what, give me that title fight. I'm gonna make you so mad, you're gonna have to give me a title fight. And it worked. Look at where he is now.
That this one pisses me off. I like this fight. I was even Joe at one point. You replayed the clip. This was got an angry look on his face.
Izzy has an angry look on his face.
He does.
I can use my anger. Never use your anger in an emotional way. You can use your anger like I use in the Brunson fight, like I use in the Costa fight. You can use your anger to fuel you and be deadly. So and I tried to do it in South Africa, but apparently it might not work. But again, I told Dana, you guys beat COVID, before any big, sporting, not agency, any sporting league got on the fucking field or on the court. You guys did that. You can do anything. I still believe they can. I want to do it in South Africa or somewhere in Africa. But he thinks they're going to have his back. It's only the product of him that's going to have his back. But he doesn't understand, who I am. Like I said,
Dracus started this divide. And he also began to gaslight, so the audience would start to question why Israel is mad. But make no mistake about it, Dracus knows exactly why Israel is mad. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows he's race baiting. He is race baiting. He's questioning nationality, and he's race baiting and gaslighting to cover up his true intentions, in my opinion.
he's creating division. I don't like that because he didn't have to do that.
And so are his coaches. It's on their Instagram.
Didn't have to do that.
It's already getting dark.
No, don't worry, no. Trust me, like you understand. I'm here now. I'm gonna fuck this guy up. David. I'm gonna torture this guy.
And he's so emotional about it, and I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, because is he playing into Dricus's hands, or is Israel gonna deliver the beatdown of the century? Who knows? Because he might be so emotional that Dricus just ragdolls him, or he could, because when you get emotional, you become less tactical. And I think that Dricus has wanted that from the beginning. I mean, Dricus is a puppet master, make no mistake. Gaslighter Duplessis.
Oh yeah, I know.
No. I'm gonna torture this guy. You have not.
No, trust me.
Yeah, he can't even get the words out here.
I understand.
All right, I'm stopping. I'm getting.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not even like I'm.
And he's like, David, you don't understand.
I'm angry, but I know when I show up, I'm gonna torture this
and
guy.
especially when someone
does
shit like that,
bro. I'm gonna do it like my ancestors.
And they took the joke out because he said, me and Dana, we've got something planned. And David, the star of the show, goes, apartheid? They took the best joke out of this conversation.
I'm gonna yeah.
You're gonna beat him to his black.
He's so emotional. We don't know what Izzy is going to show up. And it'd be so cool if they had it in Africa. Could you imagine?
Yeah, on that.
Oh God, did they do the joke, huh?
Yeah.
You're gonna beat him to his black.
Yeah, on that.
No,
You're real African then.
Gonna be one of us, Dricus. Free Mandela.
But fuck. I mean, you don't have to create division. This is not the time for division. You could have definitely got the fight without talking all that shit. But now you be careful what you wish for. You got what you want.
Exactly. And the thing is, like Israel said, Dracus could have got that fight based on talent alone. He didn't have to go down that race baiting route, but he did. He knew exactly what he was doing. Especially talking about men of colour, he knew exactly what he was doing, guys. Dracus planned this from the get-go.
So yeah, he's next, and I'm gonna fucking beat him till he's black. All right, so I'm excited for this fight. On paper or through their resume, people will look at Rob and say, "Oh, Rob's got this. Rob's gonna smoke this guy, right, former champion." Look, Dricus fights ugly, but he always finds a way to win. He's an ugly fighter, but he finds a way to win. And I really pray that he gets this done against Rob.
I honestly thought that he would never win against Rob because he's like he said, he's a sloppy ass fighter. Oh god, I was just so confused and upset when Dricus won because I was like, what the fuck? Why, God? Why?
I really, really pray he gets this done against Rob, just because I think it's one for the history books. Dricus, if he wins, I'm gonna punish him. I'm gonna torture him.
So what would you say Dricus' chances of beating Rob are? Dan, I'll take your percentage first.
How long is a piece of string?
Come on.
Philosophy.
10%?
Nah, more than like everyone's got a chance. Yeah, like 30, 40.
30, 40,
Yeah, 40,
puncher's
we'll go
chance.
40.
2 nostrils, yeah.
35, 37.6.
37.6, details.
I give him a 100% chance.
100%.
Oh wow, he predicted this.
He's gonna
So
beat
guaranteed.
Rob. He's gonna beat Rob. So my bet's on Dricus, the African warrior, Duplessis.
Wow.
Let's talk about
He
therapy.
predicted him to win. I'm just
I've
gonna
been
skip
using
these
BetterHelp
ads.
for the last 3-ish months, and to make it more accessible.
What?
Angry look on
There we go.
his face.
Izzy has an angry
There we go. So he predicted Dricus to win. I think it was more that he wanted him to win more than he thought that he'd win. But I think maybe he put that energy out into the atmosphere, and that's what he meant when he said I manifested it because I wanted it so badly. So guys, that's how that started. Dricus started it. You know, I don't know how people got the story twisted and have basically been putting out misinformation that Israel was the one that was doubting, that was shitting on Dricus and saying that he wasn't African enough because he's white, or shitting on his nationality. That never happened. Dricus did it to Ngannou, Kamaru and Israel. He brought them into a conversation that had nothing to do with them. Dricus started it. He was the one that was pushing buttons. He was the one that was saying that they weren't implying that they weren't real Africans, and that Dricus was the real one. He was the real Slim Shady because he's the one that's living in Africa, training in Africa, breathing African air, and therefore they're not African enough, or therefore they're imposters. You know, Dricus is the one that put that out there. You know, he's the one that started this shit. And now Israel is going to be the one that ends it, guaranteed. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. I'm just clearing that up because a lot of stuff has been said about putting words into Israel's mouth, and you know that and just telling lies, just straight out bullshitting about what Israel did and didn't say. He has never doubted anybody's nationality, ethnicity, color, creed, culture. He's never done that. It was all Dricus. Okay, and this puppet master, Dricus, gaslighter, Duplessis, all of that is going to come back to bite him in the arse. I promise you. Okay guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.